Namaste, I'm Shalini Modi. I'm an author with interest in our ancient scriptures, which I feel even the West is recognizing because they have translated so many of our scriptures in various world languages. In fact, this year, on World Heritage Day, UNESCO inscribed the manuscript of Bhagavad Gita and Bharat Muni's Natishra in the memory of World Heritage. So let me take you down the scripture Natishra and what it has. Natishra interestingly talks about abhinay and dance, but one of the things that attracted me to it were the navrasas, which are shown in dance and abhinay through face expressions and mudras. But actually, these are bhavas or emotions that govern our life and are an integral part of our lives and those of the divine. While reading the Puranas and Mahabharata and Ramayana, I realized that emotions governed all the relationships and interaction. It was just that the divinity handled it in a beautiful way, and that's what we need to learn from them. The divine and the larger-than-life characters, their interactions, their relationships usually displayed one overarching emotion is what I'm going to talk about today. So I'm going to take one of the positive emotions or the fun emotions called Hasya Ras. When we think of Gopis and Krishnas, what have we grown up hearing? Most of us have heard how Krishna is the Makhan Chor, he was naughty, he troubled the Gopis, he would tie up their husbands, he would refuse to accept that he had done anything wrong. If he didn't feel like having the butter, he would feed it to the monkeys. So all these stories are filled with humor. But little do we realize the reason behind the humor. Bhagwan is teaching life lessons to the Gopis through his various acts. So one of the beautiful occurrence in Bhagavatam Puran between Gopis and Krishna is the Ras Leela. And this happened on the beautiful Sharad Purnima night. Bhagwan plays the flute and the Gopis rush to him, leaving their half-done jobs. Someone is feeding their child, someone is putting kajal and has just put kajal on one eye, so on and so forth. But when in Bhagwan's company, they forget everything. But they start feeling privileged of being the special ones with him. To teach them a life lesson, Bhagwan disappears. The Gopis go crazy. They go looking for him in the forest. They see 4 feet and they think that Bhagwan has companion and they feel jealous. And then the feet become 2 and they feel he's picked his companion up. That fills them with more jealousy. They pretend to be baby Krishna. They crawl on their 4s. They pretend to pick up the Govardhan. Such a comical sight. And finally Bhagwan comes back when they realize their folly. And there's a personal Krishna to each Gopi. Because Paramatma will satisfy all your requirements and needs. And happens the beautiful Ras on this night on the banks of river Yamuna. There's another story which is very popular with the Gopis and Krishna, and that is about him stealing their clothes. So these Gopis were following some fast for Kali Devi and secretly were desiring companionship of Krishna. They would come to have a bath, a dip in the Yamuna river, but they would do so without clothes. Bhagwan stole their clothes to teach them a lesson that this was inappropriate. This was almost like communal bath, and it was forbidden in our scriptures to have a bath nude in the rivers. One, they were considered religious, and secondly, also because it was not in the private space of their homes, but publicly they were having a bath. So you can see how Bhagwan used a fun exercise and Hasya Ras and humor to teach them life lessons. Do you usually use humor to teach life lessons, or is it usually sternness and anger that comes out when you're trying to teach someone, like your children or subordinates? Food for thought.